What could go wrong?
So it's 9 o'clock on the dot, and I have promised, I tweeted all of these things that I was going to tell you guys why I was gone for 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. So in the 8 o'clock hour, I showed video of the Ryan Lochte interview where you guys remember I was grabbing my back all the time and I was having back pains. A lot of you guys, in fact, if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see so many of you guys were asking me if I was pregnant. I think I got it maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? So I finally decided that I had to do something about it. When I was pregnant with the twins, my abdomen separated. It was essentially ripped in half. And so I had this huge bulge. My organs were hanging out, my colon was hanging out. It was extremely painful. I was running to the emergency room over at HUP all the time. So finally, enough was enough. And you guys know I interviewed many doctors. Karen helped me, Mike helped me. I interviewed so many doctors around the country. Right. And I ultimately chose the best doctors right here in our backyard at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania, at HUP, where I was born, my children were born, and that's where I've been the last week or so. Here's a picture of me and my mom. So I decided to go through with the surgery, and it was pretty huge. If you have a diastasis, is what it's called medically, or a ventral hernia, there are a lot of women who have been tweeting me this morning telling me that they were debating on having the surgery. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It was excruciating, but I think it was worth it. So my mom flew up from Kansas.
Oh, my gosh. Is that before or after there?
That was right after. I'm just being real with you guys. I'm like, this was me right after. Kudos to HUP. I had the best room. I was in a room by myself. The nurses are amazing. Nurses can make or break an experience, and Vicky and all the nurses at HUP were awesome.
There's Mom.
My mom and Dr. Mike, of course, he comes in. Can I just say, you know, my grandpa's a doc, my great-grandfather was a doc, and so I've been spoiled all my life. And when I moved here and I met Dr. Mike, I almost feel like it was my great-grandpa up in heaven, like sending me another great doctor.
Well, he was very concerned about you, and because some doctors said, this is risky, Sheinelle.
Dr. Mike said he wouldn't do it.
And so what did they do?
So, okay, so all the doctors I interviewed, most of the surgeons said they were going to cut me. Can you see me?
Yeah,
they were going to cut me from here to here because my bulge was huge. So most of the doctors wanted to cut me up down. But Dr. David Lowe over at HUP told me that he could cut me this way. So I thought, well, worst case scenario, at least if you cut me this way, it's not as horrible. What I didn't know, thanks Dr. Lowe, and I'm just kidding, maybe it was probably best that I didn't know. He cut me this way, he lifts up my skin, then he cuts me that way, right? So at least that cuts underneath my skin. He said the gap was huge. I mean, it was not coming together. So he sewed me up. Oh. He gave me a new belly button. This is how disgusting it looked, I know. And see these 2 drains here?
Yeah.
I cut off the bottom of the picture because I didn't want to gross you guys out. He put the drains coming out of the 2 sides of my C-section scar. So I had one coming out one side and one coming out the other. And I had them for 2 weeks. I just got my other drain pulled out 2 days ago.
That's hot.
And I would, I was hot. And I was swinging them around all over the place, and I would have the drains pinned to my clothes. When I would take a shower, I would tie a ribbon around my neck and then pin the drains to my clothes. I mean, it's been a ride.
It was a major, major surgery.
It was major. One of my friends is a GI surgeon, and he said the only thing that's worse is back surgery. I mean, it was excruciating. I mean, I'm cut crisscross applesauce.
Let me try to figure out what they did. So you're trying to keep, they gave you a new stomach.
They pushed, all my innards were hanging out. Oh, that's a huge part of it. How could I forget? I have mesh inside of me now, and I'll have it in me for the rest of my life. And I will tell you guys, I was terrified. Google is a great thing and a dangerous thing. So I Googled it, but it's one of those things every surgeon said, Sheinelle, you're young, your abdomen is not going to hold up over a lifetime. So I have a piece of mesh about the size of almost a business envelope, long ways, and he sewed that together.
So it's kind of like a screen door has been put inside your belly.
Holding my innards in.
So does that go before or after the stomach muscles?
I think it's underneath, and apparently, so if I if I one day, not anytime soon, maybe in a couple years from now, want to do sit-ups, or if I bear down, like it'll hold. He said if you tack it from the back, I guess, that it holds. I mean, so, you know, I mean, he went through nerves, he went through everything. But ultimately, now 5 days ago, I'd have said it wasn't worth it. But now, I think it's going to be okay.
And think about a month from now.
A month from now, you guys don't have to ask me if I'm pregnant anymore, and it was hurting, and mainly, you know, the back pains, and it was just, and it was getting dangerous.
Now, will you have to watch, if you get, let's say you started to gain weight or something, you don't want your screen door to pop open.
Right, so I am determined, you guys watch me because you know I like to eat. I'm determined to try and have, like, you know, clean eating. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to have mac and cheese because I had some the day before yesterday, but I'm going to try to be better. You might as well, right? If you're going to get gutted like a fish and put mesh inside. Sorry. You're going to put mesh inside of you. Really quickly, okay? Taryn Duckett, you met my girlfriend Taryn. She referred me to Mercy Home Health.
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of Mercy. So they had a nurse she came out every day for me. Her name is Jennifer Kendrick, like Kyle Kendrick, except not related. Jennifer Kendrick. She came out to the house every day to check on my wound and what have you. She has seen parts of me that I haven't seen. Let's just say that.
Dang.
And she was so great with Kyan, because my 3-year-old, he was like, what's going on with mommy? This is where I was for 2 weeks, right there on the couch. And she would give him the little stethoscope as you see him eating an orange on the couch, which is not usually allowed. But yeah, I mean, it was just a great experience. I look like crap on a stick, but I wanted you guys to see it the way it really was. It was brutal, but I think that I will believe that it was worth it. I had the best doctors. I had the best care over at HUP.
And you were such a good sport. And Mike also, before you went away, we had a big party at Mike's house.
We had a goodbye party to my belly button because I was so afraid. I said it earlier in the show, I felt guilty for feeling so afraid because I prayed about it and I thought, well, you're not supposed to pray and be afraid, but I was terrified. The day you text me, was it the day before my surgery? I told Mike, I think it was a Saturday or Sunday, I woke up from my sleep crying.
Scared.
I was terrified. I looked at my babies and I thought, you know, I've got 3 babies, you know, and I'm going under the knife and I'm being cut open. But coming out of it, I wouldn't trade it. And Dr. Lowe was amazing.
I'm glad you did it.
The nurses were amazing. I'm happy I did it.
Think about a year from now.
That's what I'm hoping.
You're going to be so happy.
I'm hoping I'll be healthier. And when you said that, I was like, Mike Jarek, hush. He was just like, think about, you know, a year from now and the body that you'll have and blah, blah, blah. Because I was terrified.
Yeah.
Don't make me start crying.
I don't want to cry either.
I know, because I was a mess.
Yeah.
I was scared.
So I made up something and wrote it to you.
I was like, thanks for the pep talk. It's not working.
I was scared too.
Yeah, everybody was calling my husband. It was scary. So everything is okay.
And when you get scared, you get totally inappropriate.
I do?
Oh, I forgot.
He was making.
What?
This guy. Oh, no, I'm telling.
No, don't say it.
I'm telling. He was playing my montage music, like if I die, and like he has to
say that.
And he has to like tell everybody.
Well, that was at the party.
And what's funny is he told Karen Hep's husband that he was playing on the music because we were trying to figure out what music, you know, you'd play. Because I want something. What did I want?
Well, in case you died, I was going to put together a nice little video.
Yeah, I wanted Cool in the Gang. I wanted celebration.
Yeah.
That's what
I
wanted.
No, that's not going to make people cry enough.
And Brian Hep, her husband, or Brian Sullivan, was horrified. He looked at you like you were the worst person ever.
Yeah.
He was just like...
And I may be. But it made you laugh.
It's how you deal with something that's stressful.
That's how we deal. We talk about montages.
She left the party crying.
Yeah, it was sad. But anyway, so I'm okay. Thank you so much for the tweets and the emails and the Facebook posts. God bless you. If you're thinking about having it, send me an email. I'll send you more gruesome, disgusting pictures, but I think you'll find that it's worth it. I feel better.
Yeah. We can throw you a party.
Oh, I have a new belly button. Did we mention that?
Well, her fear was, the reason why we had this say goodbye to my belly button party was that you thought, the doctor said there was a possibility you would not have a belly button. It would just be a smooth stomach.
Yeah, because by the time they pull the skin back down, there's just all this excess skin that they have to cut off. And that's exactly what happened. So he apparently saved the belly button, poked a hole in my skin, and then put the back of my belly button underneath it.
He took your belly button, set it off to the side on the table?
Set it off to the side, finished what he had to do.
And put it back in?
Poked a hole in my skin and then put that on the back. So I kind of have my old belly button, but not really.
Isn't that odd? Because we really don't need our belly buttons for anything.
But I was horrified. I was like, I don't want my front to look like my back. I was horrified.
Well,
and it's not like I'm some bikini wearing something. Trust me.
Yeah.
But it's just the thought to not have a belly button.
You want to be able to...
I was horrified.
See, people can tell if you're coming or going.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Exactly. Because, I mean, they both can be flat one day, hopefully.
And where would you put the lint?
Right.
Okay.
It's not as any as it was, though, but that's fine. So thank you. Yeah.
Oh, it was great to have you back, Sheinelle.
Cheers.
The whole city missed you.
Long explanation.
It is 11 minutes past 9 o'clock. Would you ever dress your children up as a real...